One of the hardest things in this whole game is A, making videos interesting, and B, well, it's just keeping your attention. It's been 30 years and no movie shootout has even come close. Michael Mann's Heat didn't just redefine the crime genre, it set the gold standard for how action should feel, sound, and punch you right in the gut. In a sea of bullets and military tactics, this wasn't just your mindless Hollywood spray and spray. This was art. This felt raw. This was an actual war happening on the streets on the big screen. Today, I'm diving into Heat and its most iconic scene, the bank robbery, that shootout in downtown LA. I'll be unpacking fun facts and what made it feel so real. The insane behind the scenes effect it took to pull this off. So pay attention to this video because you might learn something about this shootout you didn't know. Make sure y'all hit that like, share, and subscribe, and the merch store is pinned in the first comment. Enough with the house cleaning, let's get into it.
You guys got fat while everybody starved on the street. It's my turn. You come with me. I'm at the Plaza Hotel. You're welcome. You're all welcome!
Chapter 1. The scene that shocked cinema. What makes a shootout scene legendary? It's not just about bullets and body counts. It's tension, pacing, and sounds that rattle your window pane with your home theater set to 11. Well, at least for me. I like everything to be loud. I want to hear it all.
One louder. Why don't you just make 10 louder and make 10 be the top number and make that a little louder?
These go to 11.
This shootout scene runs just under 10 minutes, but it took 107 minutes of screen time just to build it. That's a lot of film, but the end result, it feels like a sledgehammer because you know the characters, you're invested in their story. There's no background score here during the gunfire. It's just the roar of real automatic rapid fire echoing off of skyscrapers. This scene puts your speakers to the test, even without Dolby Atmos. What most people don't know, the sound effects weren't sweetened in
Three
post.
stages simultaneously. And the pre-dubs of all the effects for that reel with all the gunshots came to the stage, and Michael said, "That's not the gunshot."
And everybody was in shock.
What you're hearing is live sound, recorded on setups that were close and personal, something that's almost never done in action movies. Most shootouts are dubbed over later to save on cost, but Michael Mann wanted authenticity, and man, did he really get it. Chapter 2, Behind the Bullets. So how real was this shootout? Let's put it like this. At one point, US Marines used this scene in Heat as a training video. No joke. The military literally shows the shootout demonstrations on proper techniques when holding off enemies, where one team moves while the other provides cover fire. That's because Heat didn't just hire stuntmen, it trained as actors with real military techniques. Insane fun fact, Robert De Niro, Val Kilmer, and Tom Sizemore all trained on real military bases by Special Forces Group and Marine instructors. They rehearsed with live fire drills at shooting ranges so they could reload, shoot, and move without even looking down. Val Kilmer's reloading during the shootout is so smooth. You literally believe he had decades of training, and that's exactly what Michael Mann wanted.
There's a shot where I run out of bullets and I change the mag and I go back to firing. I think it's the Marines. They show the clip telling those maggots, if you can't change your clip as fast as this actor, then get out of my army.
And here's an underrated detail for you that you might have not known, but maybe you did. That entire shootout sequence, that was storyboarded like a military operation. Every actor had a path of fire, a fallback plan, and a route to escape. That's why it feels chaotic, but it never feels confusing because they literally knew where they were going. Now that is one crazy, dedicated director. Chapter 3, The Man Behind the Mayhem. No pun intended. Michael Mann didn't do movie crime. He does real crimes. To write Heat, Mann spent years embedded with real LAPD detectives and former career criminals. The character that is played by Robert De Niro is based off a real professional thief Mann learned about through Chicago detective Chuck Adamson, who had actually killed the real Neil McCoy in a shootout in 1964. The famous coffee shop scene between Robert De Niro and Pacino, what a phenomenal scene. That was based on a real conversation that both detective and the criminal had. Chapter 5, Why It Still Holds Up Today. So why does the shootout scene just feel so unmatched 30 years later compared to your average Hollywood movie? It's because it wasn't flashy. It was brutal, loud, tactical, dirty, and man, was it all real. The camera didn't bounce around like modern shaky cams. It stays with the shooters, tracking their movement in long, focused shots. There's a rhythm to the violence because it's not meant to just thrill, it's meant to overwhelm. Heat's bank shootout isn't just a great action scene, it's a masterclass in sound design, tactical realism, and the emotional stakes behind an actual robbery. It's a raw Hollywood moment where every detail, from echoing rounds to reloading drills, it's all something that just still feels timeless. And as a sidebar, here are some rapid and wild fun facts that maybe you didn't know. Crazy fact number 1. The FBI was watching the production because the producers had so many faked armored trucks, police vehicles, and realistic SWAT team setups that the actual FBI showed up on set, thinking that this was a real robbery in progress.
When we had the cops and our criminals.
Okay, let me clear this up. While this was something that was generating through papers and magazines, this was all just a rumor. It was something that was started by one of the production team members so that it could get more hype for the movie, but it never actually really happened. Crazy fact number 2. The gunfire changed Hollywood forever. After Heat, sound designers across the industry stopped relying on your stock gunshot effects. Michael Mann's bold decision to record real gunfire echoing off Los Angeles buildings became the benchmark for sonic realism.
Gunfire downtown was truly horrifying sounding. And because of the skyscrapers everywhere, it was just deafening. And it would hang in the sky for maybe like 8 or 10 seconds.
Directors like Ridley Scott, Black Hawk Down, Christopher Nolan, The Dark Knight, both cited Heat as a direct influence, especially Nolan, who called it a masterclass in action filmmaking. Crazy fact number 3. There was a lot of accidents on here, but a squid explosion literally went off too close to a glass panel, and Tom Sizemore was almost literally hit by real glass when it shattered unexpectedly. But he didn't break character. He finished the take, and that raw moment was actually made in the final cut of the film because he never broke character. Fun fact number 4. The actors were really running for their lives. That footage of De Niro, Kilmer, and Sizemore sprinting through the streets while engaging gunfire with LAPD, there were no stunt doubles. Michael Mann had them do their own footwork. Every running gun moment was performed live, bullets flying, well, blanks of course, but still dangerous. And every shift in footwork was all done by the actual actors themselves. And last but not least, crazy fact number 5, the parked cars had to literally be repainted constantly.
Pull in there, get everything set up, and then pull out of that sequence on Sunday. So you're breaking it up over a series of weekends, which I think is always challenging because you have to come back and now recreate what you were doing a week ago.
Rather than the cars being replaced with new ones, the crew literally had to repaint, repair them overnight just to reset the shootout for the next day. It was a nightmare, but one that kept everything feeling airtight. And it's really hard to see where they actually made a lot of these edits. They were literally putting squids inside of the door jams and everything and literally having to release them at the exact time from the previous film. So that literally must have been just one huge nightmare. It is crazy. My final thoughts. 30 years later, and here we are. Whether you're here for the crime saga, the tactics, or just the thrill of that first crack of the gunfire echoing down the city streets, Heat still burns hotter than anything else out there. And if you love deep dives like this and, everything like that, make sure you hit that like, share, and subscribe. I've got more music content coming, and I really appreciate all your support. One of the hardest things in this whole game is A, making videos interesting, and B, well, it's just keeping your attention. It is extremely hard, so everybody that makes it to the end of the video, I really appreciate it. Anyways, I'll see you on the next one. Much love. Peace.